Another lawsuit making its way through the courts focuses on the legal rights of detainees inside Alligator Alcatraz. The ACLU accuses the Trump administration of violating their due process. Loved ones of 23-year-old college student Helmuth Beteta says his case is a clear example of his constitutional rights being ignored. WGCU's Sandra Viktorova reports.
Every day that I wake up, there's this split second where it feels like it wasn't real, like it didn't happen. And then reality sets. And then I realize he's not here.
When we recently met 29-year-old Emma in South Florida, she had a hard time believing her boyfriend, Helmuth Beteta, had been detained at Alligator Alcatraz for nearly a month. She says Beteta is a law-abiding college student from Nicaragua trying to build a life in the U.S. the right way.
How can you not be angry? The most he's ever gotten talked to before by anyone is his bike light wasn't bright enough. That's the most. No priors, nothing. This is a person that came here and completely adapted to our culture, works in our local community. So it's okay if this person is contributing to the tourism and is contributing to how our community there moves. He doesn't have the same respect to have that due process because of the way he looks.
Emma says this video, shot by a bystander in Key West right before Beteta's detention, backs up her claims that his constitutional rights were violated by officers. Border Patrol agents stopped Beteta on his bike. He was headed home to get ready for work as a maintenance engineer.
He had noticed that there was a car following behind him for a little bit, and eventually they threw on their lights.
Emma says Beteta told her over the phone that he provided the officers his ID and calmly responded to their questions, including where he was from. But Emma says that conversation became more aggressive.
They had said things to him like, "We know you hopped the border to come here. You know, we're taking you because you came here illegally." He's trying not to talk too much, but he's also confused. What are they talking about? The one cop that was with him was just very verbally aggressive and making what felt like threats to kind of make him nervous. And he would say things like, "The more of you we hunt, the bigger my bonus is gonna be." And then, he's asking me, he's like, "Do they get bonuses for this?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
Emma says Beteta was confused about why he was detained.
If there's no ticket, there's no citation, what is it other than his skin tone? It is very obvious that he was racially profiled.
No, I've not ever seen anything like this before in my career.
This is Beteta's attorney, Amanda Velasquez.
There are absolutely no criminal charges filed to my knowledge, none at all. And he didn't have any criminal record prior to getting detained. Under our Constitution, under the Fourth Amendment, we have due process rights, and a law enforcement officer has to have probable cause to ask for ourselves to be identified if there's no crime being committed.
Velasquez says Beteta's mom legally brought him to the U.S. from Nicaragua with a tourist visa when he was 16. His mom says she was protecting her son from political persecution. For 8 years, Beteta has been building a life in Key West.
Helmuth Andre Beteta Leyva.
In fact, a court hearing to decide his petition for political asylum is scheduled for 2028. Velasquez says Beteta's detention is disturbing, but not unique.
Young men like my client that we're talking about today who have been in different, situations where no crime is being committed, where the probable cause for an arrest is really questionable. And you have to ask yourself, what do they have in common? And there's really one thing that they have in common. And I think that that's where racial profiling is really becoming unfortunately, a pattern that we're seeing down here in the Keys.
In Southern California, immigration advocacy groups have filed suit against the Trump administration, accusing it of systematically targeting brown-skinned people on its ongoing immigration crackdown, something denied by the Trump administration. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem recently addressed a reporter's question about allegations of racial profiling.
And so that has been another false narrative that has been put out there in the media that I absolutely want to throw back at you and say that is absolutely false, and don't you dare ever say that again. We have judges out there and other individuals saying people have been targeted that way, and it's not true. Every single operation that we do on ICE is based on investigative work and on case work to show that there is a reason and reasonable suspicion to go into an area and to talk and look at individuals that are involved in criminal activity.
Like I told you before, he's just a giant teddy bear.
Emma, a U.S. citizen, says Beteta's detention has changed her views about this country.
I don't trust our system at all to do the right thing.
Velasquez says she's also disturbed about the ongoing difficulty getting confidential communication with her client. She says Beteta, like others, has been caught in legal limbo for weeks between state and federal authorities, each claiming the other had custody, delaying efforts to get him out on bond. His mom, Xiomira, who also filed for political asylum, says the fear they fled in Nicaragua is happening here. She calls his detention a kidnapping because she says there was no reason for authorities to take him, and she fears she could be detained too. It's also made Emma contemplate her future, the one she envisioned in the U.S. with Beteta.
But I've never had to think about, do I move my life because of this? Are you so pinned in a corner that you pick up your life and you go?
For WGCU News, I'm Sandra Viktorova.
An update to this story. Beteta was moved to a detention facility in Texas last weekend. A judge granted him bond Monday. His family is awaiting his release. In a statement to WGCU, Border Patrol says Beteta overstayed his tourist visa in 2018. His attorney says U.S. law allows a person 1 year to apply for political asylum protection, which he did.
Thanks for watching. We've got more great content for you, from news to the arts to the environment. So be sure to like and subscribe to WGCU's YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms for the stories that matter to you.